I don't really have too much on the surface accessible level of my mind today. As always, I feel that there's something brewing underneath. A lot, really. There's a vast ocean. I'm being a bit, if I'm being honest with myself, maybe more of a lake at best. But yeah, turn my AC down so you can hear me. There. It's a bit darker, but that should work. Okay. Hello. I went to Taco Cabana because it's right by my work, and do you guys remember a video or two ago when I said don't go out for food every day for lunch? And now it's exactly what I'm doing. I need to stop. At least I didn't get chicken again. Well, I know that this video is probably a bit boring, but first and foremost, these are, journal entries for me to look back at. And I do. I'll post a video and then later that day at home I'll actually watch it, and it's like I've seen it for the first time too. As if I wasn't even there making it. I think that's a self-awareness thing. A lot of people, and I'm using myself as an example here, struggle with self-awareness in one regard or another. Some people maybe overshare all the time. Not that I have any problem with airing out your problems, just because I like to be excessively intimate with pretty much everybody who's willing to be emotionally intimate. You know what I mean? If a stranger walks up to me and says, "Hey man, I know I don't know you, but can I tell you about my deepest life problems right now and hear your advice?" I'd say all right, let's go sit down and get a coffee and let's talk about it. Egg and cheese is the move. I'm definitely vegetarian for now. Vegan's not. Oh, I'm vegetarian now. It's interesting to say. Egg and cheese taco, pretty good. I know it's not as good as being vegan, but people just don't give you napkins around here. I kind of noticed that too, sitting at the light. I guess if I lived around here, because I did stay in in Lake City for a week, just recently, as I mentioned. And I DoorDashed something once, but I imagine that. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Forgot my manners for a second there. But I imagine that if I lived out here in Webster, Clear Lake, whatever, this area of, I forget, it's not like I'm talking to other well, at the moment I'm talking to nobody. Nobody's seeing these videos at the moment, which doesn't really, I mean, yeah, I haven't even shared these anywhere, so, and like I said, the primary purpose is for me to see them, and to have this material that I can just, hey, do you want to know a lot more about me in a short video format that you can watch on your own time? Then here's my channel. If somebody cares about getting to know me like that, which I hope people will someday. But anyway, so yeah, if one day, hopefully, please, if one day a ton of people are watching these videos for some reason, I forget, it's not like all of you are going to be Houstonians, so anyways, this area that I live in, I can see how if I lived here in this area, I would probably go, because there's some decent restaurants in this little plaza right by my work, which is great, because, hour lunch, and I've still got about 20, really like exactly 20 minutes left on my lunch break. And I've already gone to the bank and got a voided check that I needed to, switch my direct deposit stuff up at work. I went to Taco Cabana, got some food, and here I am making this video. And I still have that much time left. And because everything's right here. My bank is down the street, like literally in walking distance. Taco Cabana, walking distance. Like, but I think what I'm trying to talk about. Churro. Now this, I wish they'd given me some sweet sauce for. The sopapillas don't really need it, but churro could use it. This one looks kind of suspicious. It smells fine. I think that's bread. It's just burnt bread. Or something. Anyway, oh. That's definitely more churro. Okay, so I was saying, especially when I was younger, and some of my opinions and values and things are changing as I grow older, seemingly not of my own accord. My own accord. Like, I see all these ugly little plazas around, like this one near me, and I used to always wonder as a kid, like, why would anybody build these? Like, who would even, like, if you had the money to build a restaurant and put it up somewhere, like, why would you put it here? Why would you not make something with character, I guess? Like, I never got ugly design, I guess. I don't know. But now it's like, okay, I see the value of, like, the perceived value of, like, having all these restaurants right near your work when you're going out to lunch. So I can see that these are all here basically just mostly for people who are, like, at work. But like, if you've ever been to Santa Fe, New Mexico, or is it Santa Fe? What state is it in? Arizona or New Mexico? I forget. The really pretty one with all the like traditional Mexican inspired architecture. The one that has Meow Wolf, that awesome place. The Puzzle House or something like that, the art thing. If you ever get a chance, if you're ever in the, well, yeah, I'm sure. If you ever get the chance, visit Meow Wolf, MEOWWOLF, or maybe it's just one W, MEOWOLF, Meow Wolf. But anyways, the point is, if you ever get the chance, don't read up anything about it. Just find out how to get there and go. It's a great experience. Yeah, so, damn, 11 and a half minutes and I haven't said a goddamn thing. Sorry, gosh darn. Dang. I'm trying not to cuss because, like I said, the way you speak, the language that you use is like the code that your brain uses to construct its perception of the world around you, which effectively, from anybody's point of view, is their world around you. You know, perception is reality, so try to, you know, like, I'm pretty surprised how big of a difference that made, I guess, when I started this journey of trying to be better and everything. I cleaned up my language, and I think that made a significant difference. I used to cuss a lot, and in my head a lot. I think that's what's even worse. And you think to yourself, it's just a word, like, who cares? It helps me vent my negative feelings. Like, yeah, but you also tend to over-appreciate or rather, I mean, I don't know if that's the right word, to, like, you'll end up thinking that the amount of negative, like, I don't know, just these words, when you use them, end up being like gravity wells for negativity. And yeah, they help you vent, but I think they also magnify like how bad something is versus how it really is sometimes. Economy of words and all that. I tire of talking to myself about myself. This is effectively like an exercise of staring at yourself in the mirror for half an hour a day or something. The tint on my car, I don't know if I've mentioned it, is starting to peel and stuff. Oh, I already did mention this, yeah. Alright, I don't know, it's coming. The time when I call my cousin and get my tint redone so that the car can look nicer. I've definitely put out of my head pretty much any ideas of modifying my car for now. Not because that isn't still an eventual life goal of mine, you know, to drive a super modified dream car, but because, you know, I'm trying to sort of substitute that dream for, instead of perfect modification, what about perfect maintenance? That's what I'm going for now, because it's cheaper, more practical, and because I'm prioritizing my boat dream. So, you know, and when I have that boat, like, what use will I have for my car anyways? It'll just sit in storage, and at that point, that's when I'm gonna want it to be, you know, pristine and ready to be used whenever I need it. Because I'm not selling this car, that's for sure. Not well. I'll say that if for some reason I ever do sell this car, it would be a heavy loss in my heart. But I can see how, you know, if selling my car brought me a year, you know, closer to my dream, then that would be a big motivation. But I love this car, but I could love another, I guess. But I do love this car. I'm tired of switching cars. And the J35 Z3, which is the one that I have, the engine, I think it's a Z3, the one without VCM, because I think the J35 Z2 might be mine, whichever one doesn't have VCM, which is good, because that would be, you know, if I ever get into upgrading like performance camshafts or something like that, then you know, that's a whole another hurdle that I wouldn't have to deal with, or just make it a lot easier. But yeah, so yeah, the J35 engine has so much potential. I know the aftermarket's not huge for it. There's only I only even really found one reputable looking turbo kit for it, but at least I did find one. Slick Fab, please don't ever go out of business, because I haven't ordered my turbo kit from you yet, and I still got to save up like $5,500. So that's why I'm saying it's either the car or the boat, but not both first. You know, boat then car. If one day the car will get all the bells and whistles that I, you know, dream for it, but not yet. First the boat, and then earlier today I had the idea, I guess right when I started my lunch break and I was at the light, I thought to myself how, you know, my cousin has his window tint business, right? And that's all he does. I remember him driving around in his little Chevy, like tiny little Chevy hatchback thing, 3-door something, like a Chevy. It looks like a PT Cruiser, but like the Chevy version. But anyways, I remember he used to drive that around, and it had like his logo on the side and all his window tint stuff in the back. And then it's like, oh, now he's got this big old van, and he bought it just from the money he makes, you know, tinting windows. And like, and I think about it, I'm like, he supports his family. He like doesn't go in. I'm probably just being paranoid. Almost sounded like gunshots or something. But anyway, so I'm sure it's fine. But anyway, so can't wait till I get my mental health stuff going. I get my health benefits in a few days, which is awesome. I think like after this next pay period, the HR is sending me the forms and stuff to enroll. So it seems pretty decent from what I can tell. I'll see how good it is when I just start using all my benefits. But I get health, dental, vision, 401k. I'm gonna stop saying that because I feel like I'm bragging now, but I'm just reminding myself that like it's a pretty decent package. They just put an inline water filter in the sink and got me 2 pitchers so I can put them in the fridge and have water instead of having to buy my own water all the time. And at first I was kind of mad. I was like, really? Like, they expect me to drink out of the sink? But now I realize, like, it's a real, like, household, like, house or small restaurant, like, what, you know, it's like one of those real filter cartridges, not like the little snap-on ones that you put on the nozzle. It's like actually there. So if anything, I guess that even though it doesn't look as pretty or whatever, like, it works better. And I taste the water, and the water tastes pretty good. It's about as good as my bottled water. And also, there is always that part of me that remembers that I'm an animal, that humans are animals. and that if need be, I could. I need to work on my snapping. It's better now, but that's decent. But my brother can snap like crazy. But anyway, so. But yeah, but if need be, any of us would be willing to drink any water, given the right circumstances. So I'm really not that picky. And like I said, it's just a presentation thing. The quality of the water is higher this way than if it were like a little Snap-on filter. Yeah, I don't hate my job, man. I really don't. I don't even really dislike it much, but a lot of it is just my personality and my so-called don't say that. My principles, not my so-called principles. I have principles. And my personality and all my problems and baggage, like everybody has, but mine are pretty strong. I guess everybody's are, maybe. Anyways, so I'm saying some of it's me, some of it's the job, some of it's just the system in general, like the whole way, like the concept of a job and everything. But I really feel like, I think I was about to say I really don't like my job. I mean, I do like my job. The best analogy I can think of is, it's kind of like being in the nicest block in the prison. That's kind of what I feel like working. Or not even the nicest, though. It's not even the nicest anymore. It's just like one of the decent ones, I guess, is how I feel like working here. Like, throughout the day, I'm like, this isn't bad. Like, okay, like, fair for the amount they're paying me and the stuff they're giving me. Like, I can do this work. But still, some deep part of me feels that this is wrong, that I shouldn't be here, that none of us really should be living this life while, other people live drastically better and worse ones. But anyways, what I'm saying is I feel like I'm getting a little bit burned out. It's only been 2 months, so I really need to fix that. But I think that comes down to, I mean, it's not like my job isn't gonna change that much regardless, and because of my life situation in the moment, with my dreams, with the goals that I'm trying to achieve and everything, and with the resources that I have, it doesn't seem realistic. Well, no, that's not true. There are mental limitations that I'm putting on myself for no reason, like an elephant who's been tied to a plastic chair since he was a baby, and now that he's a huge elephant and he could easily rip, his post out of the ground or whatever, plastic chair post, I don't remember what the example was, but he doesn't, because he's learned failure, learned helplessness. So there is a bit of learned helplessness. I can definitely move from this job. I mean, I came here from Starbucks, right? I made $12 an hour at a job that I definitely fucking hated. And now I make what I made there in overtime all the time. Well, whatever. And now I make more and get benefits, and I don't hate my job, but I think I just hate work. No, I don't hate work, because I would work very hard for myself, or in certain situations, or for my loved ones, or to accomplish a purpose greater than myself. But to give AC contractors AC parts, like, I'll do the work because they're paying me, and I'll do it right because I have my own reputation to myself in mind. I never want to see myself as a lazy worker, as somebody who isn't competent. At least not any more than I realize that I am, I guess. I don't know. I did read a little bit last night, like a single page. And I worked on and that's like nothing, but trust me, it's like the tiny little, these are the tiny sparks off of the flint that are gonna light the kindling, that's gonna light the the sticks, that's gonna light the logs, that's gonna build the bonfire. Like, that's how it works with me. But I worked on my puzzle a lot last night. That's what I was trying to say. And I put on like Khruangbin. If you haven't heard of them, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Khruangbin, Khruangbrin, I think it is. Just type in, like, sound it out, type it into YouTube, click on the first result with like 19 million views, and just have a good time. Like, what a fantastic. I think one of the comments was like, it's like listening to the inside of a lava lamp. Like, that's kind of what I imagine would go on in there. Khruangbin. But anyways, I was listening to them and like a bunch of other music that I've liked recently. I definitely love to discuss music on here at some point. And even though I technically sat at home and did nothing pretty much, which I'm not always against, now that I've actually got a taste for going out and doing things, I realize that staying home and saving money is actually can be pretty respectable and admirable. But yeah, since instead of literally doing nothing or just like browsing my phone, I worked on a puzzle all night, and I read a tiny bit, and made sure my room stayed clean and everything. I actually feel like I got stuff accomplished yesterday, and I'm excited to go home and do the same thing. Yeah. Anyways, maybe at some point I'll get around to making one of these videos at home instead of always right here in my car. I do love my car though. That's not dandruff. That's Chutero dust or box dust or something. I take good care of my hair, so gotta point that out. Anyways, hold on to your humanity and put good into the world, please. Okay. Love you. Goodbye.